However, there was a moment in this game where, for some reason, their goalkeeper just became like prime Gianluigi Buffon. It was nuts. I'm going to try and find it for you. And welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Bolton. It's a brand new year, it's not a brand new season, and it's the same old me. So, I hope you guys had a great new year. That's awesome. If you're still enjoying the series, drop a like, that'd be fantastic. Apologies for the few days off, it's just that with the annoyances of when certain holidays fall, it's been a bit of a bugger for that, but we should now be back to clean sailing daily uploads for the rest of time. But since it is the start of the week, it's time to thank new patrons. And this week it is Bu and Brian. So seriously, guys, thank you so much. You're all just incredible. So thank you. Now, you might be wondering who Sovik Gului is. I'm mainly showing you because of curiosity reasons more than anything else. So as you know, that sounds strange. As you know, I was having a look at the South Korean League, looking at any players we could potentially bring in just because it's fun. And I might actually have one signed up potentially, but this is not him, obviously. But this guy came through the scout report. Sovik Gului, he's an Indian left-sided player. He's only 17 years old, already has 7 caps for India, and he is legitimately very, very good. Now, he plays in a position that we are completely, not able to use, although he does seem to be quite a good inverted winger. Has he got 2 feet? Oh, no, he doesn't. Never mind. But I just thought I'd show you him because it's interesting to see an Indian player this good. He could legitimately play for quite a good side one day, I feel like. He's a really quite good player. So yeah, let me know what you think. Would you sign him? Obviously, I can't really, but would you? It wasn't your squeaky chair making that noise. It was Matt Smith's whining bellend cheering on Sunderland. That could have been exactly what it was. I knew I recognised those noises. I've been doing some thinking. Some of you in the comments have been talking about the fact that you've been using my tactic, which is awesome, and it was a success for you. But you've made some changes based on the new update, and you believe that you've... I really say you. I'm mainly talking about you, BC, although I believe some others of you have as well. So I made a second version of the tactic based on what you told me, because at the end of the day, this season feels like, and I'll just show you the table so you can see, it feels like one of those seasons where I don't think we're going to get relegated. I think we're good enough comfortably to stay up, but I also don't think we're going to be bothering the top of the league or the playoffs particularly. So it's a year that we could get away with experimenting were we to want to do that. Obviously, if it starts to get a bit dodged, then we may have to make some choices. But I've made a second version of the tactic with the tiny tweaks that you suggested. It doesn't change the whole thing. It only moves really one position around, and we're still keeping our asymmetric nuttiness. So that's the main thing, because I wouldn't want to change that even if it did make us a bit better. So we're playing Pompey today. Now, the only changes to the tactic that would happen in that is essentially the wing-backs become wing-backs on support. That's the only change. So Booty would move, or whoever's here, would move from wing-back attack to wing-back support, and we would go to a wing-back support on the right-hand side instead of an inverted wing-back. Now, I want to try it out because at the end of the day, it's fun to try things. I still kind of like the idea of going back to an inverted wing-back at some point, though, because I really just like that function. And maybe if we can get a deep-line playmaker that I can retrain there, that might be the key all along, hence why Booty's been able to perform so well in that role. But I do want to give this a crack because, hey, why not, eh? Change is definitely afoot, though, as we play Pompey today. So, Mumba and John, I don't know if I want to put Mumba there, really, do I? I think I'd rather have Booty starting in that spot because he is still Regan Booty at the end of the day. That's just him. Goldston on the bench. And I've just realised it's put Lawrence there. No, okay, that was what I was missing out on. What are you... my assistant is a weird one, isn't he? So that's going to be the lineup. Cristiano Noble can't really be starting this game, so we're going to bring in Ewan here, which maybe we can swap him with Famewo? Yeah, okay, that's a bit of a better idea, I think. Might not work easily, but I want to give this sort of slight change in tactic like this episode, because we're going to do a big old chunk today. I want to give it this episode to just sort of see how we look with some slight changes, because why not? And in the next episode, there were some very interesting comments on the last video, and a good discussion in the comments too, about what you guys think might have changed about the match engine, and the things you like and dislike about those changes. So I do want to discuss that, but that's going to take a couple of minutes, and I want to make sure that we got time for that. Away at Fratton Park against Pompey, I actually can't remember where Pompey stand, but I don't think they're that good as things go. So there's definitely a chance for us here, potentially. But we'll see. We'll see how this new sort of shape behaves. I guess the only difference is going to be, very obviously, that the wing-back is not going to be making those inside runs, which means we might have less clutter in the centre of midfield as Booty goes straight through a harness there. Here we go. Maybe an early chance from a set-piece for Regan Booty, of all people, ball in, and it's Ewan, and it's over the crossbar. Well, that was the highlight so far. One thing I've noticed, and this may just be an anomaly, is that we've had a lot less possession today than I'm used to, and that could just be because that's how Portsmouth play as Ewan hits the bar again. Both chances today have come through Harley Ewan. Low Everton, nice little build up here. John, around the side for Temenushkov, and it's a good strike on goal, and he's somehow got the ball back. Bree, into the box. Oh, and it's Oh, wow. Okay, that was a bit better from us there. I don't know how on earth Temenushkov got the ball back there, but never mind. We've got 3 guys back here. I don't know why the central player is the one that's going out to close that position down, but he's done the job there for Maywo. Well, defensively, we look very strong currently. Not had a single shot of Portsmouth, but we haven't looked fantastic yet. Low Everton. Oh, can he slip it around the side for Lawrence? Good play again. Okay, towards the end of the first half, we've picked it up a little bit, which is nice. Not a great first half from us, but definitely the better side so far. And, you know, I think if we carry on like this, a 1-0 win is definitely on the cards. Oh, it's intercepted by Goldston. There's a runner being made. Can he find the putt? He's going to have to spread this out wide. And, in fact, it's come back to John. Now it's Lostak, rather. Can he find the cross, or is he going to go for goal himself? And it's a penalty. This is beautiful news. Petr Lostak is brought down, and with 5 minutes to go, we have a chance to probably nick a win here. Brandon Mason. Who's going to take it, though? Because Sarcevic isn't on the pitch. Neither is Temenushkov. Who's stepping up? It's Graham Goldston. Oh, he scored! Portsmouth 0, Bolton Wanderers 1. Graham Goldston's first goal in the league for the young striker. That is a big moment that we really, really needed. I was just about to go on attacking, and Lostak's come off the bench, won the penalty, and then the other substitute, Graham Goldston, has slammed a penalty home for us. Yeah, it's a bit of a scrappy win. Sure, if we get it, but I will take it. I don't think it means all that much in the grand scheme of things, but wins are important. And it's flicked on. Oh, it's in! Akinfenmewa. It's now 2-0. And, well, okay, all of a sudden it looks a lot more, rosy for us. Another assist for the booty man at the back post. That's good. Portsmouth 0, Bolton Wanderers 2, and out of nowhere, all of a sudden, this game looks a lot more comfortable than perhaps it should do. I don't know how he gets the flip. Oh, to be fair, that's just bad goalkeeping from Matt Ingram there. He should be keeping that out. Portsmouth have sort of opened up a little bit as the game has worn on, but we've got to make sure that we don't concede a goal right now. That's a good ball through. Get a block in. Great tackle on him. All in all, it's actually been a pretty good performance from us. The penalty definitely makes it look better than it was, but we've still been good at the back, and here's John. All the way through, and it's cleared away relatively easily. And that should, if we can make one solid tackle here, be able to see this game out with 10 seconds to go. Get that clean sheet. Do not let him score here. Just get it out. Let those few minutes go by. Oh, God's sake. You just can't give me something, can you? Thank God for that Akinfenmewa goal. We couldn't just hang on for like 5 seconds there. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter that much. We're going to win the match. But the clean sheet would have been nice. They just completely shut off there and allowed John Marcus through, and it is 2-1. But that'll be fine. Like, we were already... There we go. Portsmouth 1, Bolton Wanderers 2. I'd say it's a good performance from us. Portsmouth barely had any chances in the entire match. Naturally, they scored the one they did get, but that's just how it goes. We won the match anyway, and I'm pleased with that. Right, some games off camera. We'll keep trying this out and see where we end up. Still not overly convinced, though. But hey, we'll find out. Right then, we're back. We were playing West Ham at home, and unfortunately, right at the stroke of half-time, I don't know how he wasn't offside here. Like, he seems offside, but it's a great finish from Palestri, and it was 1-0 West Ham. It was a pretty trashy performance. They weren't great either, had a lot of shots, definitely deserved the win, I'd say, over us, but their team is so stacked. Like, look at this lineup. Palestri, Fornals, Bowen, Winks, Skip, Diop, like... Felipe Anderson came off the bench here. Mauricio Pochettino as well. Wilfred Zaha. Like, look at this team that they had in the Championship. Still only beat us 1-0, though. Next up, we went away to Sheffield United, and unfortunately, it was a similar story. Mariga with the headed goal. Again, I think a better performance from us on the night, but it just wasn't enough, and it was a very even game, which, once again, we just came out on the wrong side of. Next up against Huddersfield, we played a lot better again. Graham Goldston came off the bench to score us a penalty. We were really just struggling to find the net in open play, but unfortunately, with 12 minutes to go, Huddersfield Town were able to find themselves an equaliser. Freeman getting in there, 1-1. Again, a pretty solid performance, and maybe if, you know, things go our way, we maybe edge this one out a little bit, but the penalty kind of made it look better than we were. I was just getting a bit concerned. But then we finally came up with the performance I've been looking for a while from us. John drops it back to Booty, whips it to the back post, and there was Guy Porteous slotting us 1-0 up after 8 minutes. We were then able to complete the victory with 9 minutes left on the clock. I was a bit worried that we were actually only going to win this 1-0. Lovely ball to the back post from Lawrence, and a great header from Niall John, all 6'1,000 of him, making it 2-0 to Bolton Wanderers over a decent Middlesbrough team, and a really, really strong performance in this game. We really were very good. Potentially could have had even more chances this one. In the second half, we just set alight, and I don't know what happened. However, there was a moment in this game where, for some reason, their goalkeeper just became like prime Gianluigi Buffon. It was nuts. I'm going to try and find it for you. So yeah, watch this passage of play. It's crazy. Some great work on the edge of the box, but their goalkeeper just becomes amazing in a second. Eventually, the ball's going to come across, and we'll play some really nice football to get the ball in a good spot. But watch this. Eventually, the ball comes back through. Brilliant initial stop here from the goalkeeper, and somehow makes a rebounded save off of Porteous there. I mean, that was ludicrously good reflexes just to get up and make that stop. I can't believe we didn't score twice off of that play. Absolutely nuts. But yeah. And all that leaves us 14th in the league. 28 points on the board. We're 11 points above the drop zone. So we have actually moved further away from the drop zone since we switched over to this approach. Now, I guess, you know, Sheffield United were a decent-ish team. West Ham were obviously a very good side. But we beat Middlesbrough 2-0. We trashed them, quite frankly. And they're a very, very good side in this division. So it was just interesting how we are capable of doing that. We're just not doing it enough at the moment. So I'm going to persist with it for a little bit longer. I was on the fence, honestly, until that Middlesbrough game about switching it back to what we were doing before. But I feel like I'm going to persist with it for one more episode, and we can kind of compare PPG and things like that and have a little look to see where we kind of stand on that. Now, today, we're playing at home away against Blackpool. We must win this game. Away against Blackpool, they're bottom of the league by not a huge margin, but they do look very, very poor. We must win this game and look good. If we don't, then we do have to start asking some questions, really. But for now, I feel like this is another one of these games that if we could win it, all of a sudden things start to look a little bit nicer for us. So let's get going. Now, the little rest we'd had just before the Middlesbrough game certainly helped, without a shadow of a doubt. It definitely did the trick for us. Honestly, I think I'd rather play John than... Why on earth does he want to put Mumba in instead of Niall John? That doesn't make any sense to me. Porteous will start here, but I do want to see maybe Innes off the... not even Innes, maybe Lostak off the bench. We've got options there now. Temenushkov has bin terrible the last 5 matches. I mean, he has done nothing. So hopefully today, though, more good performance. Play like we did against Borough. They're obviously going to be quite defensive, it would seem. I imagine we'll lose 1-0 when they lump a ball over the top from a counter-attack, but that's fine. We'll see. And don't get me wrong. Winning all the time is kind of boring anyway. I like trying to figure stuff out. I like puzzles, and us in a situation like this is a bit of a puzzle. And maybe it is just that, you know what? Our squad probably just isn't as good as a lot of the teams in this league. You saw some of the players they had. Maybe there's a reason why we're doing okay. Okay, so I told the players that they needed to give the fans something to cheer for, and our goalkeeper got demotivated by that against bottom of the league. So explain that one, science. Let's get going. So, obviously, Blackpool are in dreadful form right about now. Our form has picked up a little bit. You know, we drew against Huddersfield, probably should have won that game. We got the good win against Borough, deserved the win in that game. I feel like we were a bit unlucky not to get a point against Sheffield United, to be honest, but that's just how it's gone lately. We're very rarely winning the games that are on the fence. It always seems to drop down on the other side for us right now, and that's something we have to get better at doing. Winning the tight games and stealing points in games that we're kind of being poor in, and that seems to be our main issue right now as we go out in our lovely red kit. I did also make one more change to the tactic in that I turned off the look for the underlap, because obviously that only really works for our wing back when he was on inverted. So I've switched that off as well. And I haven't put it on look for overlap though, because are you kidding me? What has happened to defensive AI? I know defenders make mistakes. They absolutely do. But I just feel like sometimes it's getting a bit silly. Like, there's 3 centre-backs here, and it's like because this guy here is in some way considered to be like the challenger by the game, that the other 3 players don't believe that they have to do anything. And James McAtee, that's the guy on the loan from Man City, has put Blackpool ahead. Bottom of the league, Blackpool. Right, I might actually move to attacking now, because we kind of have to get our act together. Is this going to be the trash performance to end all trash performances? As Temenushkov bursts through a few challenges. He's got to drop this out wide. Okay, goes back for Niall John. Oh, God almighty. And Oda Baker will just run through all the defenders. Or concede a penalty, probably. You seriously let him all the way through. Mopped up now by Callum Doyle. Nice little pass out for James Breen. Now he's got to find Porteous. He does. This is better. Get him into that space. Whips it across. And it's a great save from Maxwell to pluck that one out there. My lord. Balls it across. Lawrence. John. Oh, my God. What a save from Maxwell. Nice build-up again, though. Very similar to some of the stuff we were pulling off against Middlesbrough. A full game of this kind of play, creating these sort of chances, and surely we'll find the back of the net a couple of times. We can afford to have Critchlow Noble this far forward because they only have the one striker, and we can really overload these areas and allow these extra passing options for ourselves, essentially. And straight back out to Regan Booty again. The pressure is mounting here. Surely there's a goal coming in a moment. Niall John. Allowed to run. Bree now. Could pull it back potentially for Porteous. He does. Back for Lawrence. He might have to shoot here. He does shoot. It's come back for Niall John again. The pressure is mounting continually here. Critchlow Noble's operating in a lovely area here. This is the perfect system, really, for us to be playing against to allow him to play his best, I feel like. Lawrence. He's basically just an extra midfielder these days. Bree out wide again. This is the longest highlight I think I've ever seen. Bree into the box. And that is... Really? I didn't see him touch that. That honestly looked like more of a penalty than half the penalties that I see given at the moment. Booty now with the cross. And it's all the way through and it's cleared away. And it's still going... Oh, Booty around the side for Temenushkov. It's a tight angle. Oh, it's a poor effort from him, actually. He's offside as well. Of course he is. Well, it's half-time. Blackpool lead through their only shot on target. Naturally. We were looking very good up to a point, and we just sort of faded as the half went on. Maybe a little bit of rest, second half start, bam at it again, and hopefully try to produce something. But yeah, nobody's really playing well. Actually, no, Niall John's playing well. Bree with the throw. Low Everton dropping short to try and pick it up. It's edge of the box for Niall John. just wide, and Temenushkov couldn't get ahead on it. And sadly, it's just kind of looking like we're going to just disappear in a whimper again. Yeah. We've barely seen any highlights in this entire second period. I have often found that as well, that you seem to, half-time often can kill the momentum of a game. Although, to be fair, in real life, that does exactly happen all the time. Still, 3 minutes to go here. It doesn't appear that this game is done yet. There is going to be another highlight, I sense. Okay. Anyone at all? Anyone at all? Okay, well, he got the shot away in the end, and Ziga's able to be equal to that, but we've just not performed. No, never mind. So, we're about to lose 1-0 away to the bottom club. Thanks to that, unable to score again. I mean, look at this. To be fair, he's probably got tired legs at this point. Great tackle. And cleared out. But it doesn't matter, because it's Blackpool 1, Bolton Wanderers 0. Yeah, and I don't know how you can really do it, but it feels like something's changed. Either it's like, it's calculating XG differently now, and as a result, it makes games that actually you weren't that good in look like you were better than you were, or the chances that were considered higher XG before are now being missed more often because of some changes to the match engine, and therefore it gives these weird skews to things. I don't know. It's certainly interesting to talk about, though. I'd say one of the bigger signs that perhaps something's not right with it is that we've started losing under 18 games as well since I switched over to this, and usually that's a good sign of how things are going. All of a sudden, now that we started losing those games too, we weren't doing that before with the old shape. We were still winning all the under 18 games and doing really well there. Now that I've switched it over to this, we're not, and that usually is a very good sign of what your tactics actually like, potentially, because it seems a bit more even down there. So, yeah, next episode, we're going to come back at home to Stoke. Nice and easy. We've performed quite well against some of the bigger sides, to be fair. Palace, Sheffield Wednesday, Middlesbrough, all good victories in there. So maybe we can do that against Stoke and get our confidence back. But it does look like potentially in the new year we could be shifting back across. But we've got time to figure it out. And at the end of the day, it's a bit of a building season and a learning curve for us. So if you've enjoyed this episode, and a lot of home games in there too, actually, although there's 3 away as well. Is that 2 games against Brentford in the same episode? Yes, it is. If you've enjoyed it, drop a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, and at the weekend. And of course, we've got the second channel as well. So I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.